Look at this mathematical equation on the screen. 5 plus 2 equals over 5,000. In standard arithmetic, this is an impossibility. We are going to examine this famous historical narrative as a logic problem centered on the concept of provision. Our setting is ancient Judea. This terrain along the Sea of Galilee was isolated from major markets and natural supply chains, creating a logistical dead end for a large group. We will deconstruct this event chronologically, using the historical account in the Gospel of John as our dataset. The text establishes the first variable of our problem, a massive scale of human demand. Thousands of people are gathered in this remote location without food. This balance scale visualizes the physical reality. On one side, we have 5,000 people. On the other, the only available resources, 5 small barley loaves and 2 fish. The deficit is mathematically overwhelming. The writer engineers this specific crisis to demonstrate that human resources are entirely inadequate for the scale of the need. To solve the crisis, the narrative follows a precise sequence. Jesus takes the meager food, looks toward heaven, and gives thanks. Look at this logic flowchart. A standard reaction to scarcity follows a path from deficit to panic or immediate labor. The narrative routes the solution through a different path. It moves from deficit directly to gratitude. In this narrative structure, the act of thanksgiving functions as the operational link between the initial scarcity and the eventual expansion of the food. The text positions this acknowledgement of a higher source as the turning point for the resources. This sequence suggests that within the logic of the miracle, the move of trust must happen before the resources multiply. During the distribution phase, the disciples pass the food to the crowd, and the supply endures until every person has received a portion. The text focuses on the timing of the expansion. The bread increases as it is shared, shifting the focus from the physical properties of the food to the act of distribution itself. Divine provision in this account meets the people at the point of their active sharing. It functions as a dynamic supply rather than a pre-existing stockpile. At this point, our scale is balanced. The immediate problem is solved because the 5,000 people have received adequate food. I want you to consider a logical question. If the primary goal was to feed the hungry, and everyone is now full, why does the text require the disciples to gather up the leftovers? Pause and consider the purpose of that command. A balanced equation accounts for the survival of the crowd, but the final verses introduce a new set of variables that redefine the scope of the event. The final scene records the gathering of exactly 12 baskets of leftover bread and fish. The specific number 12 points to a broader cultural message, representing the 12 tribes of Israel. This surplus is a calculated element of the narrative, not a byproduct of over-preparation. This diagram shows the final state of the equation. The scale tips away from mere adequacy and toward an overflowing surplus. This framework summarizes the logic. Step 1 is the acknowledgement of limitation. Step 2 is the move of trust. Step 3 is total abundance. The historical document confirms this sequence. Jesus then took the loaves, gave thanks, and distributed as much as they wanted. The logic of John 6 positions extreme human deficits as the necessary starting point for a demonstration of overflowing divine surplus.